Okay, episode 3. Albert introduces the Count to his friend group, including Andrea, uh, Lucian, Franz, and actually, I just realized something. He doesn't introduce him to the girl he's gonna marry. We meet Eugenie, the girl he's betrothed to, but Albert never introduces her to the Count, which is very weird to me. Because if she's part of his friend group, you'd think they would have met, but no. Also, she keeps making cryptid comments about how Paris is like separate from everything else and is like, oh, why is everything so. I get it's supposed to be a metaphor for something. I'm just not really sure what, and I don't think these things go over my head. I'm neurodivergent, so maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's just like I'm not getting what the metaphor, or maybe the show just doesn't do a good job of explaining what it's an allegory for. Because also the Count has a lot of dialogue where he's just talking about cryptic shit that I don't understand. Like, I know the story that this is based on, and I know he's supposed to be like dark and mysterious, and it's very clear that he's planning something, and that it has something to do with the girl in the picture, who I'm pretty sure is Albert's mother, because at the end of the episode, Albert introduces the Count to his parents, and judging by their reaction, or judging by the Count's reaction, he knows his mother. So, I'm guessing it has to do with her. But, like, that whole exchange where he's talking to himself and he's just rambling, I didn't understand a word of that. I didn't understand what any of that meant. Maybe it's just me, or maybe the show is just... I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so if I cough a little bit, I apologize. But, yeah, maybe the show just doesn't do a good job explaining it. But something I did find very interesting is Andrea, I believe it was, is talking to the Count, and he and the other friends are asking him a lot of questions. And at one point, he records the Count, and he takes pictures of him. At first, I'm like, why would you do that? And then I realized it's because when he shows the pictures later, the Count does not show up in them. And also, when he shows them the recording, you can't hear the Count in any of it. I assume it's because the Count is a vampire, and that would be a very interesting plot twist. But it might also have something to do with aliens, because we've established now that this is like extraterrestrial, because the Count talks about going to different planets and going to different parts of the solar system, and like I think Luna is the moon that has been made into a planet, and that Paris is the lower Earth, I think. The show has not been entirely clear about this, but I'm starting to get the sense that part of this show's lore is that there are aliens of some form. I wish there weren't, because I think the show would have been much more interesting if it was just straight up regular medieval Europe, but that's just me. So anyway, it is interesting enough though. Like, I like the idea of, what is Albert's mother's connection to the Count? What is the Count planning revenge for? Why does he want to get revenge? Why has he introduced himself into Albert's circle? Presumably, it's because it has something to do, like I said, with Albert's parents. Presumably, they did something to him. Spoiler alert, they did, because I know the story this is based off of. I'm just trying to not be, spoilery too early on. But, yeah, I like it enough. I just wish that the extraterrestrial stuff, because that stuff is kind of taking away from the plot, and it's very weird to me. But maybe that's just me. Maybe the show is kind of losing me right now. We will see in the future. Tomorrow will be episode 5, and then I will come back for episode 6 on Monday.